Laquan McDonald was no victim. The adult-sized 17-year-old ward of the court was a genuine known thug out burglarizing automobiles at 10 p.m. while armed with a knife. Additionally, this young car burglar was high on illicit PCP. McDonald was clearly running in the direction of Officer Jason van Dyke in subdued night lighting. When McDonald got way too close, Van Dyke ordered the young thug to drop his weapon several times. When McDonald got within 10 feet of Van Dyke, he knew he was legitimately in mortal danger. He fired a service weapon at the knife-wielding car burglar, killing him. We know one thing about knives versus guns. Knives are far more deadly. You only need to look at Chicago's shooting statistics for this answer. On some weekends, we hear that as many as 60 people were shot with all manner of firearms, and often multiple times. Only 5 or 6 of them actually die. Bullets entering the human body pass through our elastic tissue that self-seals, preventing rapid blood loss. Knives, on the other hand, cut wide, leaving blood vessels exposed to bleed profusely. You can actually bleed out from a knife wound in 30 seconds or less, and of course, die. In law enforcement training circles, they redundantly teach all police recruits to follow the 21-foot rule. That is, that at this or any closer distance, the officer is in mortal danger and he or she should open fire on the suspect. The 21-foot rule is based upon the well-known fact that even a mortally wounded suspect can easily run, stab, and slash after he's been shot multiple times. PCP injection would also cause any suspect to feel invincible even after being shot. McDonald was hit 16 times in a matter of seconds. However, in broad daylight, it's difficult to determine you've even hit the target you were aiming at. In subdued lighting, I can tell you firsthand, it's nearly impossible to know you hit or disabled a person that has suddenly become a mortal threat. We tend to overlook the deadliness of knives, especially after watching so many spectacular one-shot stops in TV shows and films. It just seldom happens that way in real life. The real question here is whether Officer Van Dyke actually believed the car burglary suspect had a knife in his hand. Most importantly, it's really all about how his police training and experience automatically put him into the motion of recognizing that 21-foot rule. This tragic event took place in seconds in the darkness. I think survival instincts dictate the answer here. We've all seen the dash cam video taken from another police vehicle where its headlights are directly on the armed burglar. However, from Van Dyke's angle, there's no such lighting advantage. The dash cam video gives a false impression of visibility conditions from where Van Dyke was standing. Can an untrained civilian jury really understand the complexities here? Will they be able to give the benefit of the doubt to the accused officer as required by law? We will have to watch the hired gun, expert witnesses for both sides battle this out in open court as the trial unfolds in the Windy City. None of us want to be in a position of either the McDonald or Van Dyke families right now. This should be time for citizens to come together rejecting drugs, crime, and violence. Had McDonald been sleeping in his bed that night instead of prowling the neighborhood with a knife, he'd certainly still be alive today. We must find better ways to convince poor ghetto lads that real wealth comes from education and hard work rather than robbing and killing their neighbors. Has the local media actually been actively provoking the African American community by constantly displaying that smiling 8th grade graduation picture of McDonald taken years earlier? I think we can all see that the news coverage has been less than fair. We should never lose sight of one thing here. Had McDonald been murdered by one of his peers in the ghetto, we would not have ever even heard his name. Unfortunately, in Chicago, black lives don't really seem to matter, just as long as other blacks murder them. I'm Paul Hubel. Thanks for watching.